I thought I would see gray whales close enough to pat, but didn't. In Todos Santos, in the distance, we could see the splash of the gray whales many, many times, even from where we were sleeping. And I thought I might see this as well, but I didn't. I hoped to see whale sharks in crystal clear water, but didn't. I saw the whale shark in murky waters, but this image does not do the sight or experience justice. Our expedition guide for the week stayed on the boat, a good distance from the whale sharks. Yet, while the boat was heading back to shore, he joyfully said that he gets goosebumps seeing what we saw. Are you wondering why? Before I tell you, I need to share another story that may be more spectacular. A story in which not only Hugo, our expedition guide, but also the captain of the gray whale boat saw for the first time in their many years of adventures. I wish I could speak Spanish, because although there were only 2 gray whales in the area, the boat captain was in for a treat of a lifetime, and he spoke Spanish, so I missed part of it, but that's okay. We drove 4.5 hours to Magdalena Bay. There were only 2 gray whales, a mother and her baby in the area. Well, I had tomorrow to see more gray whales, or so I thought. Does this mean the day was a waste? We could not pat the whales. Most viewing was in the distance. Today, the plan fell apart. Everything changed. It is not the guide's fault. Maybe I am jinxed. My recent trip to Antarctica ended abruptly. Now, this trip is being improvised daily. What is an expedition? It is one of adventure. It is one of flexibility. It is a journey into the unknown. Every expedition trip is unique. An expedition trip in the past cannot be the same in the future or the present. Imagine being the only person in a football stadium, or lake, or bay. You are in the seat at the top of the stadium, as far away from the field as possible. While no one is blocking your view, do you think you will see much action? Today, after driving for 4 hours, you take 2 boats to see gray whales. Are you remembering how unlucky you are in that you are never lucky enough to be in the boat closest to the action? We are looking and looking, but seeing nothing. Then, a seagull lands on the bow of the boat. The captain says we received a sign of luck and we will see some gray whales. Not only did we see a gray whale mother, but her baby as well. We see the mother skyhopping. This is not your average skyhopper. If you look at pictures on the internet, you see the head and eye. In our case, we see a large portion of the body. Mothers spend the first few months teaching their calf about living in the water. We think the mother was teaching the baby how to spy hop. And what happened is the mother, who is about 45 feet long, was touching the bottom of the bay, which is only about 30 to 35 feet deep. You get the picture. A large portion of the body had to be out of the water. However, this is not even the best part. The captain, who is on the bay regularly, and has been doing this for years. But on this day, with us on his boat, he exclaimed excitedly in Spanish to our expedition guide, who has never seen such a sight as well. If I captured the extraordinary experience on my camera, hearing how excited our expedition guide, Hugo, was, we discussed how sometimes you see spectacular sights, but unfortunately, you don't get the picture. So I told him, I hope I got the picture. Oh, are you wondering what the sight was? I am here to say the picture or video may not be great, but Hugo will probably contact the captain and tell him to watch the video. So without further ado, we saw both the mother and baby gray whales simultaneously sky hopping. I have seen whales before, but this was my first time seeing gray whales. I liked it, but did not experience the joy he or our expedition guide experienced. As you can see, it is a unique experience, more so than getting to pat the whales. But for me, I would not classify this as a trip of a lifetime. For them, yes, but not for me. We're eating dinner and planning the next few days of the trip. We gave our dive cards to our guide so they could get everything ready for our trip in a few days. We were excited. And then the expedition guide, with worry on his face and a heavy heart, gave us the bad news. We probably would not be seeing much wildlife for the remainder of the trip. That the best part of the trip is on Espiritu Santo Island, which the guides wanted more than anything to show us would not happen. How do you console a guide? With that being said, the adventure of this trip was its daily changes. We had to be flexible because we have no control over the environment nor nature. For the guides, as well as us, it was a journey into the unknown. Do you think it was easy for the guides? We paid for a somewhat specific type of expedition only to have it not be able to happen? So, no, it is not easy for the guides. 2 days with gray whales becoming 1 day. The part of the trip they say is the best part being canceled. Are you wondering how the guide can say that he experienced goosebumps? 3 days down, but 6 to go. The guides want to give us an experience that they gave every other guest in the past, but knew they could not. They talked amongst themselves to determine what to do tomorrow, to spend another day seeing gray whales, or to swim with the whale sharks. They chose to swim with whale sharks. No one knew what to expect. We could only hope. It is a good thing we saw the whale sharks, because the weather got worse and it ended up being the only chance of seeing the whale sharks during this trip. We sleep for the night, eat breakfast the next morning, and drive for 2 hours to La Paz before boarding the boat to swim with the whale sharks. The water is very rough.
Here's the baby.
It probably reminds the expedition guides of their sleep. I am sure they tossed and turned throughout the night with worry on how to salvage a trip in which the itinerary is of no use for the remainder of the trip. The boat waits for the okay to enter the area, since only 14 boats are permitted in the area at a time. We are a group of 8, so everyone cannot enter the water at the same time. Protection of the whale shark is taken seriously. The captain enters the sanctuary and Group 1 eases their way into the water. Jumping into the water would scare the whale shark, and then we would have to search for another. 5 minutes later, Group 1 is back on the boat. I did not expect to see much because the videos I watched beforehand showed murky water with limited visibility. I think, though, that I would spend more than 5 minutes in the water. I was in Group 2, and our second time seemed even shorter than the first. Our boat guide said she wanted us to maintain strength. How easy do you think it is to swim in rough water with 2-foot waves? The captain moved to another location to see the whale sharks. Group 1 returned to the water. Someone sat out, so I joined Group 1. What happened next was unexpected, and the reason our expedition guide got goosebumps. While we were on the same boat, our experiences may have differed. For me, it was a trip of a lifetime. It was as rewarding and exhilarating as going to Antarctica, maybe more so. Now you know why the guide said he gets goosebumps. There was not just one whale shark in the area, but 5. I would turn around and one was coming up behind me, and I didn't even know it. It was amazing. And then swim alongside the whales as well. He swims faster, so I can't keep up. But then again, I turn around. And what is coming but another whale shark? And with their mouth wide open, what a spectacular scene.